And with that, welcome to Top Rope Spoilers. Are you okay?
I'm trying to figure out if that says Beartooth.
That is exactly what it says.
Okay, well, I can't
And a shout out to them, by the way, for giving us permission to use their song Riptide, and how fitting that seems to be with the winner of the Women's Royal Rumble match.
Woot,
Congratulations, Rhea. Mommy.
Let's go, mommy.
Somebody in this room called it.
And did.
Actually,
and
everybody in
y'all.
the room called a winner except for someone.
Well,
we
but
won't
more on
name-
that.
we
We're
won't
gonna
name their
digress.
names.
More on that shortly. But welcome to Top Rope Spoilers for NXT Vengeance Day coming up this Saturday in Charlotte. We will be there live. We tend to be everywhere live now. Thank you, YouTube.
Thank you, YouTube.
Woo! But we're here to give you our previews and everything else. No title changes at the Royal Rumble. Just a couple of Rumble winners as we start the road to WrestleMania. We're gonna have to start putting like a little sign or something up here to give us something to point at. But a lot of good matches coming up, and believe me, there's gonna be plenty of content coming up here over the next several weeks as we begin the road to LA. Yes, we'll be there too. So don't worry, there's gonna be a lot of coverage coming up here in the next little bit. But congratulations to both of our ladies on getting a Royal Rumble winner. Cody Rhodes over here.
Hey.
Rhea behind the camera.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I was stupid. I rode Seth all the way again.
It's okay. I rode Seth too, but you know.
You
it's
got Rhea,
okay.
and the Otras also got Rhea as well. So, congrats to all of them.
I wish I could say I rode the Cody train all the way. I technically did.
Choo-choo.
Choo-choo, in a matter of speaking. But
let's move it back. Let's move it back to NXT. The first premium live event for NXT out of the Performance Center in nearly 2 years. So this is definitely something that is going to be exciting. Let's hit the scoreboard here real quick. As you can see, everybody picking up a nice 8 spot. All of the non-Royal Rumble matches, everybody was the same across the board. So everybody got Bray, everybody got Roman, everybody got Bray.
Bray, Roman, and Bianca.
Excuse me. But then, of course, everybody getting one Rumble winner. Alyssa and the Otras each getting Rhea Ripley, and Kia getting Cody Rhodes. We rode Seth again.
Yeah.
So I blew it. I picked Naomi. I really believe Boo Boo was going to come back. I'm losing faith. Maybe at Mania, but I'm losing hope, sweetheart. Come on back for me. But either way, so that means we now have a new set of leaders up here, as the Otras and Alyssa have now actually taken a 1-point lead at 67 apiece. I'm down 1 at 66, Kia, making up some of the gap. She's at 59, but there's still a lot of matches still left to go, including the double-point WrestleMania. So there's plenty of time for you to still catch up with only a handful of pay-per-views left.
I'm not going to even BS y'all. I was literally riding that Cody train hoping that Cody would come back and hearing stories. So thank you, Cody, for doing what I knew you were going to do anyway. You helped me get some points back on the board.
So let's move into our Vengeance Day pay-per-view. As I said, our first live event for NXT outside of the Performance Center in nearly 2 years. We're expecting fun, pyro, and really, let's call it a stacked card. We're looking forward to this, but let's open things up with the first of what is going to be 5 championship matches. The plate exchange could be really fun if things go a certain way for me. But we begin with the NXT Women's Tag Team Championship, defended by the incumbent champions, Kayden Carter and Katana Chance. They will be defending against the newly formed tag team of Fallon, Henley, and Kiana James. This team kind of manifesting itself due to Briggs and Jensen, each wanting their ladies to compete together. Fallon's not all about it right now. She's still kind of on the fence, but, after winning on NXT 2 weeks ago, deciding that, and also Briggs going and getting them a title match, she's like, all right, let's try it one more time. And they take on the champs, who right now are closing in on the longest reigning title reign for the women's tag titles, catching up on Toxic Attraction's record.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ladies. Get it done. We've seen over our years, and I'm sure Alyssa has probably seen too, that the oddest of pair can come from anywhere. Look at Sheamus and Cesaro on the main roster. Well,
they couldn't stand each other.
They couldn't stand each other.
These two can't stand each other.
But what happened? They figured it out. They figured out a way to actually be able to work together, and they made it work. So I feel like with Sheamus and Cesaro doing it, I feel like these two ladies can do it too. These two ladies over here, best friends on screen, best friends off screen. They have the chemistry, and that's probably why they've held these titles as long as they have. Don't get me wrong.
That was like one of H's first things he did as soon as he took over, was he's like, these two have waited long enough.
They really have.
And they put the titles on them almost immediately. Like, that was one of the first things he took care of when he took over.
He did a lot, and this was probably one of the big ones right here. And All I'm going to say is I'm really excited to see women, like the match, you know, having the women actually be on the match and actually working the card and actually having everybody across the board actually get their time to shine. I mean, we've seen these two, so let's see what these two can actually do together.
Alyssa?
That's a good point. I feel like it's kind of like a weird thrown together, though. Like a forced thrown together.
Mm-hmm.
Especially with the beginning, with the first match that they did, and then when, who's that, Briggs or Jensen? Which one was it? The win got the title shot?
Was it Briggs?
That's what I thought. Okay. But no, when Briggs sat there and got the thing for him, it's just like, okay.
It's fine. We'll work with it.
It's like, okay. And then, you know, Fallon was like, I don't know about all that, big dog.
Well,
like,
even with her getting a shot at gold, she's like, I don't know if I want to team with her again, even if it is for the title.
Because it's like, they haven't trained together. They haven't, like, they don't have the background that Casey and Katana. Just throw me away. Into the garbage can. Just, good night. But no, in all seriousness, they don't have the background that the two of them have, and I think that chemistry is going to go a long way in this match.
It absolutely does, and that's exactly the point that I was going to make, piggybacking off of both of you. You've got the newly formed tag team, so it does have its advantages and disadvantages. You don't have the advantage of having that chemistry, so you're essentially fighting as two singles competitors and hoping that the timing works out right. Going up against a team that's been doing this for years together.
Literally.
You know, even on the indie circuit before they got here, these two were best buds. So they know what the other person's going to do probably before even they know they're going to do it.
Yeah.
So that can play to your advantage, but also at the same time, being a newly formed team can also be to an advantage because there's no way for the other team to be able to prepare for you. You're preparing for two singles competitors, and if the timing manages to work out, you have no real way to strategize as a team other than kind of just keeping them separated.
I feel like, for me, this one loves to fight, so I feel like she's going to be the feisty one. And this one, to me, just seems like she has the brain. So I feel like feisty and brainy,
they're on a southern bar, you know. You're up for fights.
I feel like they're going to get it together where, you know, she's calling the shots and she's listening, and they finally get to a point where they're on the same page. Okay, we're both smart at this. How can we take them down? They've been holding those titles long enough. Now it's our turn to hold them. I feel like that this could work.
Well, I guess we're going to find out, and this will be one that, it's definitely not going to be your match of the night, but it definitely has the capacity to be one of the better ones due to the athleticism you're going to have in this match. So let's get to our picks. First, let's look at how the OTRAs are doing. For those who have never seen our show, we do put up the picks a couple of days in advance for you guys to vote on, and this one actually was the match that ended up getting the most votes of any of them, surprisingly, even though we post them all at the exact same time. And so, we'll see how things are looking live. But again, it doesn't count until the match actually rings. But currently, not a surprise, 81% going with Casey and Katana and Kayden for this particular match. It's tough when she changed her name.
I know, don't do that to me. I know, you said way back in the day.
But not a surprise. Over 4 out of 5 going with that, and with decent reasoning. Alyssa's actually in the lead now, so she gets to go first, and I'll be backing her up since I'm in second.
Dog.
So
okay,
where are you heading?
The same train as the OTRAs. We're gonna go ahead and go Katana and Kayden. It doesn't feel like it's time for them to lose it yet, and then to lose it to the newbie team, I don't see it.
I gotta ride with you on that one as well. I just feel like you need, if you're gonna lose the titles, lose it to an established team,
and then get ready for that push next.
Exactly,
too,
especially when you know that the biggest event of the year, Stand and Deliver, is the next one up for NXT at WrestleMania weekend. Yeah. You want to be the two holding the gold, and then which team is going to be the one, because you wonder, you had a chance to possibly run the story with Alba and Isla, Nikita, tearing her ACL, big recovery for you. We hope you come back stronger than ever. So, I don't want to sit here and say this team kind of got thrown into it due to circumstances, but it just doesn't feel like a title change is happening here. I'm going with Katana and Kayden.
Well, for me, I'm going to go the exact opposite of you two. I feel like we saw Sheamus, we saw Cesaro. They could not stand each other. These two women cannot stand each other. I feel like behind the scenes, I feel like they're game planning right now as we speak and as we talk right now how they can, because you have to think, Y'all been holding the tag titles for a long time. Y'all been friends. Everybody knows your friendship on screen, off screen. knowing her, she's probably doing background footage on y'all right now. Like she probably knows your date of birth and everything else. Beside the point, all I'm saying is, I love these ladies, but I'm going to choose these ladies right here.
And one thing to note, and just a side note here, is remember that when the one match they were together, Kiana was willing to go a little under and was willing to do a little underhanded stuff if it meant getting the thing, doing some stuff behind the ref's back. And ultimately, by the time Fallon figured out that they basically kind of cheated a little bit to win their match, she wasn't real thrilled about it. But at the end of the day, a win's a win, as Briggs told her. And so it's a matter of, saying, like, if being maybe going a little underhanded means winning tag team gold, is it enough?
What is it? By hook or by crook? We've seen a lot of tag teams actually do this in the past, and there's still tag teams that are still doing it. Mm-hmm. So why not? By hook, by crook, however you got to do it.
All right, so now we're gonna rotate in this direction. So Kia's taking the camera, and Alyssa, who's gonna make her first appearance on the camera.
Hey, no, she didn't. I am done. You gotta come back here.
Right.
Little jokey joke.
We ain't right.
No, y'all aren't. And yet I get to go with y'all everywhere. Either way, so moving into the second match is now I shift over to this side. And kind of a spoiler considering I already brought the belt over, but it is for the NXT Tag Team titles, and it will be defended in a fatal four-way match as the current incumbent champions, the New Day, will defend in a fatal four-way. First pin wins against the returning kingpins of the UK, Gallus. Pretty Deadly, the former champions that the New Day took the titles off of. And then qualifying yesterday at NXT was Chase U. Kia wearing the proud Chase U shirt behind the camera right now. So
we have a story behind that, but we'll tell you in a minute.
We love our stories. Yeah. So either way, we have the timer set, so maybe I'll actually use it this time. There we go. So, this is exactly what a four-way is. All teams, earning the right to be able to get in, either by winning a match or by getting a chance to, do something silly for the New Day. But ultimately it panned out, and now the New Day up against three of NXT's best teams. They got their work cut out for them.
Yeah.
Stellar commentary here, folks.
It's golden, y'all. It's golden. No, I like all the teams, they're cool. I like the New Day.
What, you think we're getting another torque off?
I hope so. I'm really crossing my fingers here. I'm really crossing my fingers. I promise. Chase U is a good team. I'm kind of seeing a little discord here and there, but
that's true.
I digress.
Maybe they're gonna put it together. Maybe tag team gold will be what kind of brings them back together, or it's gonna be what destroys them. One of the two, because we'll see. Because Andre's still not 100% trusting a Duke right now, so we'll see how that goes. But one team, the other two teams, very well established. Gallus definitely a powerhouse, and remember that Gallus technically has a third man in their corner as well.
Yeah.
That can quietly, bring some havoc into this. Again, no disqualifications, no countouts, and Pretty Deadly has proven that they'll do what they need to do, even if they're going to look fantastic along the way. This would be a good time to bring back Tyler Breeze. I'm just going to say.
Yeah. It really would. I feel like he would fit in with Pretty Deadly with the camera and the selfie stick and the way he just looks about himself and everything else. I think that'd be perfect.
Stratton in there. Think about
let's not mess it up. Let's just leave it them and then Tyler Breeze, not Stratton. She can do her own thing.
My only other comment I would say about Pretty Deadly is they've had multiple shots.
They really have.
So it's like,
get to the back of the line.
Well, and New Day even told them that, when they came back, they're like, you've had two shots at us already. It's time to go to the back of the line. And the reason why it took them so long to get their title shot was because they kind of weren't willing to play the New Day's games.
Yeah.
Briggs and Jensen got a title shot. Inafe and Blake got a title shot. Mm-hmm. So, they were willing to do what needed to be done to get themselves championship matches, and they are going to have fun along the way. But, they've got 14 world titles or world tag titles between the team. So, New Day knows when it's time to, to take the gloves off and get to work.
I can honestly say Pretty Deadly, like Alyssa has stated, has had their shot time after time after time after time. Move to the back of the line. It's just like saying, move to the back of the line. move to the back of the bus. Just everybody just move, just get out the way. I feel like Gallus.
How many copyrights did we just break right there?
No, mind our business.
That was me, and I'm sorry.
I think move, get out of the way, though, I think is fairer use at this point. I'm pretty sure it's over 11 years old.
Well, we missed the other word in the middle of it.
True.
Yeah.
Let's not say that one on the air. We have kids watching this.
I feel like Gallus, they look like a pretty tough team, pretty rough and tough. They remind me of, what is it, the Revival? That's who they remind me of.
FTR.
I feel like they're going to get it done, but also we know New Day is funny and they're hee-hee and they like to kiki and everything else, but when it's time to put the hurt on some people, they will put the hurt on you. Now, I'm wearing the Chase U shirt, which means we kind of already know where I'm going. I've seen, like y'all said, there has been some discord with Duke and with the leader of the group. I feel like with that being said, I'm kind of concerned. I'm kind of worried, you know, because you can only do so much. You can only have the, what's her name? The young lady that won. Taya. Yeah.
Oh, Taya Hale.
Yeah, you can only do so much with her win, you know. But the fact is, if you don't trust your own team, you don't trust your own school, then that means you don't have confidence in what they could do. And even if it seems like Duke is doing something behind the scenes, maybe before you question him, ask him and get his side. And, you know, do what Roman had to do to Sammy. And I'm sorry, may they all rest in peace, because I know Sammy's no longer with them. And just kind of go from there. But... Well, go ahead.
You know, and Alpha and Blake and Dyad are certainly no strangers to the tag team division, so a win over them in any capacity is certainly worth it. So we'll see if, you know, again, maybe the thrill of competition will be what brings Chase U together or rips them apart.
Yeah.
But let's get to our picks. I actually go first this round, and this is the one that I feel like we're going to get the most discord or the most swap over between them all. I'm actually going Gallus for this one. I took Gallus back at Worlds Collide, if you go back earlier this year. They ultimately, of course, came up short. And, I mean, in retrospect, you can take any of these teams because a Fatal 4-Way, it's got to be right place, right time, right moment because it's first pin takes it. This isn't an elimination match. And I feel like just you look, and when you look at pure power, I mean, you look at Wolfgang over there. I mean, he is the power of this match, and nobody else really can stand up with that. I feel like Gallus has that mean streak to be able to do it.
I already stated my piece. I'm wishing the best, made the best team win. I love the New Day. I know what they can do. We've seen it, and, you know, we keep preaching on this. We thought they'd never work, and look at them now. They've held almost every tag team title, hadn't they? If I'm correct.
They have held them all.
Okay. And
this was the one they were missing.
As far as Pretty Deadly, I feel like, you know, if they were going to get another shot, they need to make it worth it. But honestly, y'all don't need another shot, you know. And as far as Gallus, I'm a little scared. Them faces are making me a little bit uncomfortable, as someone in our room would say. Yeah, no. And then Chase U, I didn't buy this shirt for nothing, so y'all better win, because y'all will be hearing an earful if y'all don't. I had to say the same thing to Roman, but that's okay.
So you're officially picking
Chase U?
Throw it up!
I can only do, like...
Yeah, I know. You gotta...
Don't worry.
Here you go. There you go. That's the teamwork right there.
Thank you!
Okay, so...
Where you heading?
With my pick, I kind of have to play smart here.
Tough playing with the lead, isn't it?
Yeah, because it's like, I hear right place, right time. Let's check that track record real quick. Pretty Deadly is real good with that right place, right time.
They really are,
they
right.
Are really good at that right place, right time. They got over them right place, right time. So it's like, I like Pretty Deadly, but I also like New Day. And it's like, I don't want to pick the New Day because you can't eliminate 3 teams at once. Mm-hmm. You can't take all 3 of their credibilities, you know? Like,
no matter how good
can
you
you?
are.
Can you?
I feel like...
I mean, if, they obviously have the experience advantage without a question. And obviously the big stage experience, too. They're going to be... See, you're looking at 3 teams that haven't had to do it in front of an audience of 25,000 people. New Day's been doing it for years. They've competed at WrestleMania.
I feel like, honestly... I feel like, to answer your question, I do feel like if anybody's going to take anybody's credibility, it will be the New Day. And I know, all jokes aside, kikiing, they will. All
right. Well, my pick, I'm going to go with New Day. Now watch. Pretty Deadly gonna win. Watch this shot.
Was there any chance the OTRAs took Pretty Deadly? No, I doubt it.
No. I meant there. Well, too late. Wait, no. Throw me away.
Yep.
No.
That is the plan.
X Games, man.
Well, let me back it up here.
Are we gonna be ride or dies? Like
64% to the New Day. This is what happens when you do things live. You know, you miss it. Kia's shadow's in the way.
No.
But 64% going with the New Day. For those of you curious, 17% is the next highest vote, and it is for Chase U.
Yay!
Pretty Deadly, I think, has like 3%. If I
Because-
last saw
Why'd
it.
you be Pretty Deadly?
Because even the Ultras know that Pretty Deadly needs to go ahead and just move to the back.
They
For
do,
those who
but
are
right place, right time.
Well, those who are interested in the statistics, and Lord knows I'm a stats guy.
Yes, he is.
At Worlds Collide, they had 0% of the vote.
And they
walked out with 2 tag team titles.
So that pretty much just goes back to what Alyssa said. Right time, right place. And hey.
I know.
Really?
On to
Come
the
on
next,
now.
on
Next
to the
match, because we do
next
need to
one.
stay on pace here. That's the whole
Sorry,
reason
y'all.
we got the clock. But we're moving into our third match, which is the only non-title match of the night. Kia and Alyssa both relax. But either way, this one, I mean, this has match of the night written all over it because you've got 2 of the absolute best in terms of athleticism in this match. But also, this is not just your standard ordinary match. This is 2 out of 3. Each has a pinfall win over the other, so they have both decided, hey, in the barbershop, that they needed to they needed to break this tie, and so here it goes. 2 out of 3 falls, Apollo Crews and Carmelo Hayes. Ladies, take it.
All right, so we already had to get our obligatory boo staying out the way. So there's that. We will not let him live that down. We are so sorry. I'm working on it.
She ain't sorry.
Maybe I am. Maybe I'm not. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
I'm
But
sorry.
no, in all seriousness, I think this really is going to be the best match of the night. Like, you got 2 hard hitters, flying abilities, freaking Braun Breaker and and everything in between, Please take this from me right now, because I need to get myself.
Okay, so you have 2 brothers facing off. Okay, Steven is...
This is why I'm holding the camera right now.
Steven is repping the Carmelo Hayes shirt.
Yeah.
That's all good and great.
We clearly did not coordinate the shirts with the presentation here.
Right.
You would never
We're still
catch me.
working on it.
You would never catch me in that shirt at all because you just wouldn't. As far as Apollo, I feel like Apollo and Carmelo are going to get it done. I do feel like this might be the main event of the night, and I feel like it would slowly go under the radar. But you have to think, I feel like Apollo is right here living in his head rent-free. Like, this man literally went to your barbershop, was talking about you in
we
your
got no
chair.
hair.
And
No, but he got this shaped up, so we gonna let it slide. He's
Something I
literally
need to do.
he's literally living right there. Like right there in your head, rent free. Like you're giving him that power that you shouldn't really give anybody. But the fact that you feel the way you do and you sit here and you say, "Oh, I'm gonna call my shot. I'm a shot caller, shot baller, whatever you want to say." Honey, that is not the case right now. Okay. This is what it is, and just to let you know, I am moving on. Go ahead, Steven.
I've made my thoughts clear, and I've had it clear for several months now. If Carmelo Hayes either needs to win the NXT Championship or he needs to be called up. And I feel like that decision, one way or another, is going to come to fruition. And I really think it's going to come down to the result of this match. Yeah. Because a victory over Apollo Crews, I don't think there's any doubt that these are your top 2 contenders, short of Grayson Waller, who's getting the match with Bron Breakker on Saturday. If Grayson doesn't get the job done, the winner of this match has, at that point, a 2-fall win over another fellow number 1 contender. So I feel like whoever wins this is getting that title match at Stand and Deliver. I mean, how much longer do we need to wait on Carmelo to get his shot? Because when he takes his shot, he don't miss.
Right.
But Apollo Crews also has shown that, and he's made it very clear, he's back in NXT, and he's back for one reason, and that is to win the NXT Championship, the title that eluded him when he was brought in to be, the next big thing, of NXT. So these two, have proven to each other that we can hang with each other. Even taking Trick Williams into account on Carmelo's side, Apollo's been a step ahead of him most of the way. Carmelo able to get a little bit of a shot back at him recently. But now at this point, it's just like he did with Breakker. It's the mental games. But finally, hey, everything's got to come to a head, and iron's going to sharpen iron in this type of match, as 2 of the best that the NXT division have are going to go at it, with the winner likely heading to Stand and Deliver. So I don't see how the winner of this match isn't the number 1 contender heading into Mania weekend.
Wow. to me, I feel like the 2 out of 3 is going to push Carmelo. Because think about it. Apollo already had his chance at Breaker, didn't get it done. So why not help push Carmelo over?
Mm-hmm.
Like, they give him that, then boom, all of a sudden, if Grayson doesn't get it done, or if he does, that just lines up your next person for Carmelo. And Carmelo tends to perform when the lights are on. I've only seen it not happen once.
But
we don't mind our business.
But
that's not the point.
So one thing you're going to hear me say, and I'm surprised I'm even sitting here thinking it,
Mm-hmm.
I honestly feel that Carmelo, at this point, I feel like, honestly, he's ready for the main stage. I feel like he's ready. If whatever reason, I feel like he can go into WrestleMania and knock it out the park, whatever match they put him in. So I honestly feel like putting him over would only help him succeed to either get the title that he wants, or it'll help him get to the main stage quicker to be pushed into a match where it shows his abilities and everything that he has. So I feel like either way, Carmelo's going to win.
That's kind of the viewpoint also, is the more you push Carmelo, the harder it's going to be to move him, and especially if you put the NXT title on him. That means he's staying down there for a while, but he's running the show. Let's get to picks here. Since the clock ran out, we can move to the OTRA's picks. 64% going with Carmelo Hayes in this match. Not a runaway. Certainly enough that Apollo votes Apollo's direction could change things up. Kia, you're up first on this one.
So for me, I know I'm against Carmelo, but again, like I said a few minutes ago, I feel like either way, he would be winning if he wins this match against Apollo, or if he wins this match and he goes onto the main roster. But my pick, and I'm picking Apollo only because I've seen what he can do. I know what he can do. I'm confident in his abilities. And I'm really not, again, I'm not a fan of Carmelo. That's not really a secret. So I'm picking who I think will win.
Out of curiosity, is he taking both falls, or does he need 2 out of 3?
I feel like he's taking both falls, and that's going to be...
So you're going 2-0.
Yeah, exactly. He's going to be done.
Okay, Alyssa?
I'm going to go opposite. I'm going to go ahead and go Carmelo Hayes. We've seen Apollo writing his journal, and then it didn't come through that first time, so I don't think it's going to start back now. So we're going to go Carmelo.
Let's score. Does he take both falls, or does this need all 3?
I think it's going to go all 3.
3?
Let me ask you a question, though. Let me ask you a quick question. He wrote in his journal, so you think him writing his journal is going to work for him, too?
I don't care nothing about that. I'm thinking about that push. Okay.
I got Carmelo in this one. I feel like the push is right there for him. I don't know if that push means debut at Mania weekend, or if it means the NXT title shot that I think they've been waiting years for him to get. And honestly, I'm going to call a sweep as well. I think Carmelo wins in 2 falls. I don't think we're going to need 3. I think he's going to beat Apollo twice and really set the tone that he is the next person to challenge Bron. Leave no debate about it. No sudden falls. No lucky breaks. I think Carmelo takes it in 2.
I wasn't going to do Apollo like that, but I think it'll take the 3.
So if Apollo ends up winning, y'all will give me my due, right?
Well, you'll get a point.
You get your due anyway.
Moving to match 4, halfway through our next championship match. And this is the one that I think a lot of people are worried about, but has also been the one that's the most split. And it's for the North American Championship. Let's just call it what it is. The North American title held by Wes Lee. We gave him he was in the running for the most improved of the year. Just so many awards. We've absolutely given him every benefit of the doubt in terms of, his ability to be able to kind of overcome everything that stood in his way. But what's standing in his way right now is a prison warden that is right now hell-bent on getting what he should have gotten the first time he was in NXT before he got caught up in that god-awful Retribution storyline by the returning Dijak, who has basically said, I'm out for justice and I'm going to destroy anyone, heel or face, that stands in my way.
Really? Is that what he's going with? Is that what he's running with? Because I've seen some things, and this right here, just like your Retribution story, it ain't it.
Jeez.
It's not.
Can't just come for the throat tonight.
Got chilly in here all of a sudden.
Golly.
For me, you have to understand, I love Wesley, everything that he's been through. I love an underdog story, and who better than to be the underdog in his own story? Wesley, this brother, I feel like will get it done against this person right here. And I feel like Dijak has a lot of mouth, but I feel like, honestly, you need no mouth, you need all brain. I feel like Wesley has the brain. I feel like he has the capacity. He's clearly holding this title, and he's been holding this. He has been holding the title.
You know, for all the praise that we gave Carmelo Hayes, remember who it was he took it off of.
Exactly. So I'm just saying, all this right here ain't it. I feel like just keep your mouth closed, use your brain, go in, fight that nice hard battle, and get it done with, and be gone.
Well, it's easy to say that, you know, when you're not up against a guy that's 80 pounds of muscle bigger than you are and has got you by well over a full foot taller. It's so easy to sit here and say that, you know, when, you know, the person is of even size, even speed, even strength. But this is not even close when it comes to everything on the board. Wesley's speed is easily canceled out by Dijak's power, and Dijak's no slow mover himself. He actually moves pretty swiftly for a guy of his size. And the thing about it is, Dijak has come back in and has just laid waste to anyone and everyone that has gone against his idea of what justice should be. And at this point, he feels like the justice belongs to him. He was denied opportunity after opportunity during his first run. And we watched, you know, back then years ago when he was in NXT, and there was a period of time where he was easily the most over person that was on that roster. And then it just slipped away. He went into the Retribution storyline, and he kind of just fell off the map. So, you know, like it or don't like it, or like his character, don't like his character, whatever, I like the fact that he has found a way to reinvent himself, to give himself that push. It may not necessarily work right now for some people, but the reality is he's been being able to reinvent yourself and change with the times is part of what being a wrestler and what being a sports entertainer is. And Dijak's doing that just the same way Wesley did last year.
I like Wesley, you know. I like him as much as the next girl, you know.
Hey, we don't judge.
Hey. No, I mean, I'm trying to think, because I've missed a few NXTs, but how many times has he defended?
Twice.
Okay. Against who?
Well, one was Carmelo Hayes.
Okay.
And then he had a match against Tony D'Angelo, I believe. It was either D'Angelo or Stax, one of the two. And I'm pretty sure it was D'Angelo because Stax got yanked away by Dijak for trying to cheat during the match. And Dijak ended up kidnapping him.
I'm looking at the people he's competed against, and they're about his size. I want to be realistic here. He is small compared to that man. Like,
I mean, Dijak has all the look of...
It's giving Gunther, like, reject version of Gunther. Like, I'm sorry.
Version?
Yes.
No, she's not sorry.
I was going wishless Terminator, but that works too.
Yeah, that works too.
You know, it is what it is. You know, I just, you know, but I mean, you hit the nail on the head, but continue.
I feel like I have to be, this is a head and a heart vote right here.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely. For me, it's going to be a head and a heart vote. My heart wants to go Wesley because his reign is not that long, you know? It's like, you
don't want to believe that he's the carryover champion.
Exactly. Like, he never gave that vibe, but you know, at a certain point, I've got to be smart. I've got to think about it. That is a big man. Like,
well, the fun part is you get to go first in the picks as well, so you got about 30 more seconds to think about it here.
Okay.
Yeah.
My thing is, first of all, his speed and the fact that he's a high flyer, I feel like will outweigh what he has. He's got power, he's got height, but you got to catch this brother first. And if he's flying through the air and he's chop blocking you and he's knocking you upside your head and you're down, I feel like that's his best shot to get you. Get you.
Problem is, can Wesley, with all that speed and everything else, can maybe outrun him? But you know the old saying, you know, the bear's only got to hit you once. You know, the bear's only got to catch you once, you know, and it's game over. Then that speed doesn't matter anymore.
How many times have we seen this man get knocked down and get back up?
I'm not sitting here saying he can't do it. The problem is what happens when you're knocked out to the point that you can't get back up. All right, well, time's up. Let's hit the OTRA's picks first. And as I said, this is the one that has been jumping back and forth in the votings in terms of the OTRA. So right now, it's sitting at 52% in favor of Wesley, but it's not by much. Only a couple of votes here are separating Lee and Dijak. Dijak actually led for a while there at the beginning, but then it's kind of shifted back and forth. I think when I looked at it this morning, it was a split even 50-50. So Wes has moved just a little bit ahead. But this is definitely going to be one that's going to come down to the wire. I'm going to have to check where we're at when the bell rings. because this one's definitely not decided for the OTRAs by any stretch of the definition. But Alyssa, you're up first.
Usually when I go head and heart, I usually go head, so we're gonna go head on this one too. I'm gonna go Dijak.
And that's where it's tricky for me because of the fact that I know I need to catch up with you at some point, and I don't anticipate the other two matches we're going to be picking different, but we might surprise each other. I got to go Dijak as well. He came back for a reason,
right?
And let's call it Vince. When he took back over NXT for the small amount of time he did, he screwed Dijak over. Dijakovic at the time, he was easily the most over guy probably since the Velveteen Dream had his run before he got himself in trouble. Exactly. And he was denied that opportunity and then put into a terrible main roster storyline where he was made to look like a joke along with Mace. And with all due respect, Mace is still kind of up there, kind of. But you know what? As a saying goes, hey, he's on TV every week.
There you
exactly.
go.
So we're going to mind our business.
Perspective. I'll do whatever the hell they want as long as I'm still on TV.
And you can see me. Yep, making that money.
I feel like Lee is, he's done well. He's been the great story. The crowd's going to be heavy behind him. But I don't feel like you can create a 7 or 8 month storyline with him as champion, not with as many folks that are sitting there. I feel like it's the right time to put a new person over. And Lee, I don't know what the plans with him would be. Maybe main roster. Maybe you call him up and, you see what he can do. Maybe competing as kind of a mid-card person at this time. Because a lot of people have succeeded that way. Or maybe you shock the world and, you have him pull the upset, maybe a roll-up or something.
Yeah.
The fact is you got to keep this man down for 3 seconds somehow, and good luck with that one. I'm taking Dijak.
All right, that's fine. Y'all can take the reject Terminator over here. I'm taking Wesley only because I don't feel like he needs to lose that title right now. I feel like he's worked so hard and has come so far to be a paper champion. He don't need to be a paper champion. I feel like him holding this title, I feel like at this point it belongs to him and it will stay with him. So to the wish list Terminator, you're not going to win. I'm going with Wesley.
And again, OTRAs, you got time. The picks are really close, and it's not official until the bell rings for this match. So you've got time and can shift it in either direction, either higher in his favor or put Dijak back over. If we'll see where it stands at the end.
But let me make this known. He competed against Wesley competed against a bunch of other guys, and I was the only person that picked him. So I'm going with you again, brother. Yes, let's do this.
Hang tight. All right, shift.
And when I'm wrong, I'll be happy. But normally my brain ain't wrong. Well, not normally.
Yeah, we're smart. You know what?
I try to think about things.
Let's move to the penultimate match of the night. Now, which one's going to main event is still up for debate right now. But the way that the WWE website is showing it, they're leaning for the women's match to actually be leaning towards being the main event. And I'm kind of surprised by that. But based on that, we are going to go to the NXT Championship match as our next one. So, Alyssa, if you would. But we do move into the rematch from New Year's Evil between the incumbent champion, NXT title holder, Bron Breakker, who's closing in on a full year as champion. He has crossed over a year combined between his two reigns, but he will rematch against Grayson Waller. Certainly some controversy with broken ropes and whatnot in their first matchup, which allowed Breakker to retain by countout. So now this one will be decided inside of a steel cage. No pinfalls, no countouts, no disqualifications, and no more excuses.
Ooh.
Alyssa, take it over.
First of all, what is this render? I'm going by my.
Oh, you mean
What is that render? What is that? I don't know if it's my angle. Maybe it's my angle, but we're going by our business. Anyway.
Are our tires bald or is the road just slick? Slick.
Slick. No, we all know Alyssa loves some Bron Breakker, okay?
It's the facial hair.
Yeah, it's the facial hair, but it's also the growth. It's the
evolution.
It's the character development. It's the everything. Yes, he's a great wrestler, family history, the lineage, all that. It's great. Why are you looking like that?
I'm so proud of you.
I was about to say, did I say something wrong?
No, I'm just listening to how
you
you're
think
talking.
She's in the lead by accident. Just, I need a minute.
No, watching the evolution of his character is really I'm like, yes, I like it. He was fresh when I came in, So I feel like I've kind of grown with him, love that. And then you got...
Don't state it. Don't even say it.
Okay.
Just leave it off the thing.
No, I choose violence today. Then you got the show drinker over here. And,
Grayson, you kind of put yourself in that boat, baby. I'm sorry.
I don't think he regrets it either.
He regrets nothing.
He regrets absolutely nothing.
Wouldn't be me.
He
But anyway.
out of a shoe.
A
he
boot.
just wrestled in.
A boot. A sweaty boot.
What's he gonna do if he wins this weekend?
My foot was crying. I don't know.
Ooh,
but yeah, I mean, let's be realistic. In their match, he was holding his own.
Yes, ma'am.
He was holding his own. I was over there like, But yeah, that's all I got to say on that. Next.
Yeah.
I'm gonna piggyback off of Alyssa, and again, I'm gonna take this for everything. I'm very proud of you for like literally stepping up and making that known in the evolution. I'm really proud. So, going forward, I'm gonna piggyback off of Alyssa. Bron, transformation, evolution, background, a man who literally has all his emotions and everything in check. He's already got it, baby. You got it physically. You good looking, and you got strength and built and everything, and you were meant to hold that NXT title. Grayson, on the other hand, he's a little bit smaller, not by much, just a little bit. I feel like Grayson is coming in. He's cocky. He's confident. He's got the game to back it up. He held his own the last time, despite the fact that he drunk out of that boot with the sock on. We're going to digress. I feel like he will hold his own again. I just feel like at this point, if Grayson's going to go for it, he's going for it all. And we don't know what this man has in store, but we just know that it's going to be something good. So I'm hoping Bron comes back and game's playing even harder and things a little further and, kind of spots or scouts what Grayson is trying to do and kind of knock him off his game. That doesn't really lead into my pick, but I'm just saying I wish the best. I cannot wait to see what these two actually pull out of their shoe and or hat and or wrestling title belt, and we'll go ahead.
You hit it. You both hit it, but I mean, you add in the steel cage stipulation. You remove the excuses of anything that happened. There will be no controversy. The true winner will truly win this match. I mean, Waller is similar to people like Dolph Ziggler, The Miz, Logan Paul. Even if they're knocked out, that mouth is still going to be running.
Oh, yes.
Okay, that mouth that runs 10 times faster than he does. And he's okay with that because even when he loses, he's still winning. Mm-hmm. Because for him, his viewpoint is not just about necessarily being the best in the ring. It's also about being the best to the eyes of everyone. And every person that, whether you like the guy and his wrestling talent, or even if you just absolutely can't stand his guts, in either scenario, you're paying attention to him. Mm-hmm. And that's what Grayson Waller is all about. He's all about the clicks. He's all about the views. He's all about everything. And he does it now at the best of times by trying to show that he can be the best in NXT. Now, Bron has absolutely proven that he is the standard bearer right now in NXT. No one has really come close to taking that title off of him, and he's faced some of the best names that NXT has to offer, including some returning folks that have come in to challenge him for it, and with the exception of a small slip around this time last year against Dolph, a well-established veteran, and he quickly corrected that a few weeks later. He's also been on the main roster for several weeks, including winning this title back on Monday Night Raw. So, Breakker has what it takes to be on the big stage, and you wonder if this is that moment when it's finally time for Breakker to move to the next level. And what a time right now than, hey, WrestleMania season to make that transition. This is going to be fun. It's going to be, as a former announcer of WWSA, a slobber knocker. And honestly, I really am curious to see where this one heads. Our time is up here, so let me get on my little handy-dandy mouse here so we can find out where we're at. But right now, as we stand, we are at 70% in favor of Bron Breakker. You're getting us a nice shot there. I don't think that's necessarily a surprise. Breakker's been the champion for a year, so but not so far away that a couple of votes can't bring it back if it turns into it. I'm up first on this one, so I'll make my pick quick. I'm going Grayson. I really am. I feel like this is my chance to kind of catch up a little bit or fall further behind. But a steel cage match with the ability to be able to escape the cage, that plays to Grayson's advantage. He's faster, he's more of the aerial type, which means that type of ability to win, as well as the fact that, look, he'll take it any way he can get it. As long as he gets the W, he doesn't care.
A win is a win.
And exactly. Bron's going to be the kind of guy that's not going to want to win this by escape. He's going to want to win this by pinning him in the middle of the ring or making him tap out. Grayson will take it any way he can get it, and I think that's going to be the difference. Grayson's going to come in with a plan, and I think he'll slip past it. I see the upset here. I like Grayson Waller. Yeah?
So I love Bron, I really do. I wish great things for him, but I'm going to have to pick against him, and I'm going to go for Grayson. I feel like Grayson's going to do it by hook or by crook, and we've seen two types of Graysons. We've seen heel Grayson, and we've seen face Grayson. I think he's going to
Two boots.
I feel like he's going to go in as, like, face Grayson, but I feel like he's going to walk away as heel Grayson. I feel like he's going to do something underhanded.
He's been a face?
Well, you have to think about who he's faced. I feel like he's going to do something underhanded, sneaky, and conniving to get this win. Again, a win is a win, and he will do it by hook or by crook. My pick is for Grayson.
All right, Alyssa, we kind of opened the door for you here.
Y'all know I love me some Bron. I've been the person preaching, like, oh, he's been growing up, he's been controlling his temper, this, that, the third. I've seen a backslide, baby. You got goaded into running through the barricade. Did you bump your head? Yes, you did.
You did. You crashed through the steel plate.
You crashed through the steel plate, and then he got goaded into running through that barricade right there at Chase U's feet. I was like, dang, that's crazy. I think he's in his head. And I think he's about to do it. I'm going Grayson too.
So the OTRA's maybe walking alone on this one, but we're all calling for a new pick, and expect that if that happens, a rematch at Stand and Deliver more than likely, and that would be the only reason why it would suck if you're really behind Carmelo or Apollo being the next one. Is a Grayson win means Bron's getting another shot at likely Stand and Deliver. So
that's fine, but
just
if
means
he
I gotta wait a little longer.
Means I gotta wait, and
Exactly.
then they can take it when he moves up.
All right, let's shift into the main event. I'll take the wheel, and how fitting that the ladies will take over this last one here. And it is what we are considering to be our main event, and that is for the NXT Women's Championship, a triple threat match that will feature the incumbent champion Roxanne Perez defending against both members of Toxic Attraction in Gigi, Dolin, and Jacy, Jayne. My pick is back there. Don't look at that.
You didn't say nothing. You saw nothing. Technical difficulties.
Yeah, I'm sure they won't say nothing about it. But either way, you look at the match like this and everything screams at you that says that Roxanne is at a huge disadvantage here, but do not let the status fool you. This is a triple threat match. This is not a handicap match, which means Jacy and Gigi are going to have to show up with a plan, and at the end of the day, both of them want to be the next Mandy Rose and the next leader of the NXT Women's Division. How are they going to figure that out?
First of all, let's go ahead and give our girl Roxanne Perez a congratulations for holding her own in that Rumble. Yes, ma'am. Didn't even see that coming, but get it, girl.
I said, oh my God, it's Roxanne.
Apologies for the quick switch over. I dropped the phone. My bad. So let's take it back over, ladies. Y'all were up.
So first of all, let's just go ahead and give our girl Roxanne Perez the shout out of her life in the Rumble. Yes, ma'am. She held her own.
Jay was out there sitting over there.
Please
get away from me. I'm not clever. Oh my gosh.
All I'm going to say is congratulations, you held your own, and you look excellent, making NXT look excellent, girl. Champ power.
Yes, ma'am.
So now let's go ahead and kind of rewind it back a little bit. How I feel like Toxic Attraction.
Gigi and Jacy Jayne.
Okay, Jacy Jayne. I feel like these two, you should have known something. You should have known better than to. They were conniving. They had a plan. They knew what they were doing, and I feel like Roxanne kind of fell for it a little bit. I feel like she kind of got in. She got in her own way, and I feel like she kind of fell for it when they sat down and they started talking to Booker. And it just seemed kind of, y'all been on the same page this whole time, minus the whole haunted house thing where you ain't going in, and you want to go in. So it is here nor there. I feel like
long-term storytelling. I love it.
Yep.
I feel like. How are y'all going to be on the same page literally all the way up until Mandy leaves and then y'all are off the same page? Something didn't feel right about that story. I should have saw it coming. I didn't. It is what it is. and they get there, and it's just like, now that I'm thinking about it, I was like, now you see the gears are turning. They literally they threw her off her game, honestly. I'm not even lying. Alyssa?
I feel like they did too a little bit, but also, how much of that was acting and how much of that was real?
That is
true.
That was almost all acting, I think.
Because at that point, I feel like one hit's gonna hit harder than it was supposed to be.
Yeah,
it be your own people. We've been saying this since the beginning. Come on now, it be your own people.
But
please don't play dumb.
But you're right.
I feel like they're gonna get in the heat of the moment. One of them's gonna be like, okay, hold on, because if I hit this girl just right and I go pin her real quick, I'm the new champ.
Yeah,
and then I don't have to share
with you. Exactly.
Like, no, I'm not playing dumb. I honestly feel like they're gonna be either each other's biggest helper,
yeah, or
they're gonna be the biggest downfall.
That's exactly.
I'm going the latter, but we're gonna mind our business. We're gonna mind our business.
I look at it, and I mean, we've seen, it's not like this is a brand new concept of a tag team essentially both earning number one contendership. But that's the one thing you're going to have to decide is at some stage, they're not both walking out of here as champion. Everybody wants that lay cool, moment where they're going to cut the title belt in half. Please don't cut my belt in half. I just got it. But, they want them to walk around with each of them holding half a belt and they defend it together as a team. And that's just not realistic in terms of how this is going to go. At some stage during this match, they're going to have to make a choice.
Yep.
Now, one route that seems to be like if you were a smart person, you'd say, okay, we just want one of you to win the title. And if one of the two of them, whether it's Jacy or Gigi, can be unselfish and is all about Toxic Attraction taking the title off of Roxanne, you toss Roxanne out. There's no disqualifications. Maybe you hit her with a chair. You hit her with a kendo stick. And then you get back in the ring and you quickly pin one of them. It doesn't matter who takes the pin because you're going to feel like you're co-champions at the end.
There you go.
But they're not like that.
But that's not how this is going to go. You can see it in their eyes. They both want it for themselves. And at what stage do they stop being a team and they go, it's about me? And that's going to be where they stop becoming Toxic Attraction. They become Jacy and Gigi. And that's where Roxanne then gets an opportunity as the prodigy to step in and take her spot. Last thoughts before we get to our picks?
May the best woman win. I honestly feel like I love the title on Roxanne. I don't feel like it needs to be taken off of her. I don't care if it is by a Toxic Attraction. I just feel like these two are trying to literally be Mandy without Mandy being here.
I miss Mandy. Alyssa, any thoughts?
I know I have on this shirt, but don't let it fool you, please.
Well, we kind of spoiled the OTRA's picks. If anybody paused, then hey, you already saw it. But ultimately, it is 79% in favor of Roxanne Perez. I don't think that one's a shock. She's heavily favored in this match. She also just won the title.
Exactly.
One title defense since then. So we'll see how it pans out for her. But right now, a heavy favorite. For those that are curious, it's 16% to Gigi Dolin as the second pick. So only about 7% are going with Jacy Jayne to win this match. But hey, we digress. Kia, you're up first for the last one. You went first on the fourth one.
No, I didn't.
Go ahead, Alyssa. You.
Whatever. Go.
Take
Somebody go.
I'm going her.
Who's her?
Roxanne.
Yeah, I was going to say, you're going to have to be a little more specific. We going Roxanne?
Yep.
For the obvious reasons?
Duh.
She's been riding this train all the way. Let's not let her fall off. For me, I'm going to go ahead and pick Roxanne. I feel like she's going to get it done. I feel like she's going to show up. At this point, now she knows what their end game is and was and what's about to happen. So I feel like she's game planning in the background, and I feel like she's not going to let it happen again. Fool me once, shame on me. Fool you twice, shame on you. Roxanne, let's get it.
And I got to go Roxanne as well. I just feel like, even if you take the triple threat storyline and versus Toxic Attraction, I think this truly brings an end to the Toxic Attraction storyline. Opens the door for Gigi and Jacy to get their call up to either Raw or SmackDown. I think that's been long overdue. I think Mandy's departure kind of gave them an opportunity to hold them here a little longer. But at the end of the day, they're both main roster ready, and I think they're ready to go conquer the women's tag team division up on the main roster. This is Roxanne's time, and she deserves right now to have the chance, especially with that great Royal Rumble run, to get a chance to go into WrestleMania weekend still holding the gold. I'm going Roxanne as well.
Okay.
And that brings us to an end of our top rope spoilers. Where did we get it right? Where did we get it wrong? hopefully everyone enjoyed the show. I know we ran over a little bit, but we tend to do that even with a timer. But we'll be in Charlotte, so I'm gonna let the ladies wrap it up here. But be looking out for us if you're gonna be there. Come say hey. We'll have on the shirts. So come say hey to us. Kia, thoughts?
Again, not really much to say. I'm excited. We're going to travel to Charlotte for many reasons. This being the main reason. Then we get to see Stephanie, maybe John, who knows. And we get to go have fun doing what we love to do. Alyssa?
Exactly.
It's just going to be a steady card and I'm excited. Please, no pyro. Please. My ears are already tired, okay?
Royal Rumble took it out of you.
What?
Yes.
What? Royal Rumble and then all those plane flights.
That and Screaming Baby.
They went to see Harry Styles right after Royal Rumble, so yeah, they had fun.
So yeah. But yeah, we're going to mind our business. But yeah, it's going to be fun. I'm excited.
I'm excited.
I am as well. So hey, let's get to the weekend. But you guys have a good rest of your week. If you travel to Charlotte, be safe and let's enjoy NXT Vengeance Day. Y'all take it easy.
Bye.
Peace.